Hey everyone, and welcome. I am so thrilled to have you here for this explainer. Today, we are absolutely cracking the code on one of the most exciting, yet kind of universally misunderstood areas of football betting, the over-under 2.5 goals market. Now look, if you've ever placed a bet based on a gut feeling, or just because there were a bunch of high-scoring games recently, or maybe because a team has this one phenomenal striker, well, we've all been there, right? You are definitely not alone. But today, I'm promising you something entirely different. We're going to strip away all that emotion and reveal the pure, data-driven systems that actually separate the sharp, calculating bettors from the casual fans. Okay, let's dive right into this. Here's our roadmap for today. 1. The goal prediction myth. 2. Uncovering the true edge. 3. The 7 filter system. 4. Strategy and execution shortcuts. And finally, 5. Golden rules of profitability. All right, section 1. The goal prediction myth. I want to pose this rather provocative question directly to you. Do goals predict goals? I mean, it sounds like common sense, right? If a team scores a lot, they're going to continue to score a lot. Well, a massive study conducted by the London School of Economics actually set out to find the exact mathematical answer to this. And let's just pause to appreciate the gravity of that for a second. We literally have academics at one of the world's leading universities rigorously studying our weekend betting habits. It's wild. But the results they found are absolutely paradigm-shifting. So, what did they find? They found that goals are actually incredibly noisy. A team can completely dominate a match, create 10 unbelievable scoring chances, and walk away with 0 goals. Meanwhile, the other team gets one lucky bounce, takes one shot all game, and wins 1-0. Because there's just so much sheer luck involved in that final act of scoring, the LSE study proved that relying on goals to predict future goals is literally the worst metric you can use. In fact, using past goals as your main input produces a consistent mathematical loss across every single major league. Instead of looking at scoreboard noise, we need to look at the stable metrics: shots, shots on target, and corners. These are what indicate a team's true, sustained attacking pressure. Moving right along to section 2, uncovering the true edge. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the solution the researchers built to bypass all that luck. It's a rating system called Generalized Attacking Performance, or GAP. Instead of tracking the final scoreline, GAP measures how strong a team is going forward and defensively, based exclusively on the actions that lead to goals. We're talking about shots, shots on target, and corners. It tracks these stats for teams both at home and away, constantly adjusting based on underlying performance rather than just what the scoreboard says. It's like a giant puzzle. And when GAP identifies that a match has a higher probability of 3 or more goals than the bookmaker's implied odds, it flags it as a value bet. And does it actually work? Just take a look at this number, 0.8%. Now that might sound small at first glance, but that is a striking, consistent, long-term profit margin per bet generated by this exact strategy. And this wasn't some tiny sample size either. This was proven across 12 years, 10 different European leagues, and over 68,000 matches. It is a verified mathematical edge over the market. So the central thesis of the entire London School of Economics study boils down to this one quote: bookmakers price goals well, but they do not price underlying performance as accurately. The true edge doesn't live in the league table, folks. It lives in the underlying data. Bookies are incredibly sharp at looking at historical scorelines, but they leave these tiny, exploitable gaps when pricing up the actual attacking metrics, like corners and shots. Which brings us to section 3, the 7 filter system. We are moving from academic theory to a strict VIP bouncer-style application. I absolutely love this mindset. Most people bet vibes, we bet data. Think about it. If you want to protect your hard-earned bankroll, you've got to stop acting like an emotional fan who's just hoping for a fun, exciting game, and start acting like a sharp, calculated investor. This system completely removes all the guesswork and emotion from the equation. And this brilliantly illustrates the core of that system. We are hunting for pure chaos-fueled matches. Let's run through them. First, high average goals. Teams must average 2.5 plus total goals, scoring at least 1.7 and conceding 1.2. High output plus defensive weakness equals massive opportunity. We basically want matches where the defense simply forgot to show up. Next, the trend. 7 of their last 10 matches must have gone over 2.5. If it's not consistent, it's just noise. Third, league selection. Stick to naturally high-scoring leagues like the Eredivisie or the Bundesliga. Fourth, head-to-head history. 3 of their last 5 meetings must have exploded with goals. And lastly, motivation. We want cup games, title races, or relegation battles where teams absolutely cannot afford to just park the bus. But here is the absolute golden rule. Out of the 7 filters we just discussed, which, by the way, also includes looking for teams with aggressive early goal tempos in the first 30 minutes, a match must hit at least 5 of them. 5 is the absolute minimum requirement. You have a 2-filter acceptable buffer, but if a match only hits 4, you walk away. You literally do not touch it. Discipline is everything here. All right, let's get into Section 4, Strategy and Execution Shortcuts. This step-by-step odds-checking methodology is your final filter to ensure you have the optimal risk-to-reward balance. Step 1, you want your straight over 2.5's odds to sit exactly between 1.50 and 1.67. Anything lower just has no value, and anything higher is way too risky. Step 2, cross-check the both teams to score market. Those odds must also be under 1.67. Step 3, check the over 3.5 market. If those odds are 2.63 or lower, it basically means the bookmakers are privately panicking and actually expect a massive flood of goals. When all these steps align, you know for sure you've found a prime target. Now, we all have busy weekends, so if you're short on time, here is an incredible shortcut using a site like Soccer Stats. It's called the 7-goal rule. You pull up the last 8 matches for 2 teams playing each other. You're hunting for a match where the combined average goals of both teams equals 7 or more, with each team averaging at least 3 individually. This pinpoints incredibly action-packed, explosive matches. If you find one and the odds are around 1.8 to 2.1, back them as straight singles. For those of you who want even more automated, low-effort execution methods that still rely purely on data, there are analytical ways to source your picks. You can use sites like footballpredictions.com, scanning specifically for predicted scorelines of 4 goals or more, like 3-1 or 2-2, and backing them if odds are above 1.66. Alternatively, predictive tools like the B-Minds machine allow you to scrape the top 4 over 2.5 predictions of the day, grouping them into a daily accumulator. The goal here is to hit combined odds of 3.0 or higher while utilizing a strict 30-point bankroll management system. Zero gut feelings, just pure algorithmic selection. Finally, we reach Section 5, Golden Rules of Profitability. Because honestly, all these strategies mean nothing if you fail on the execution. Let's contrast the 2 ways you can actually enter these trades. The pre-match entry is simple, repeatable, and structured. You place your bet before kickoff, ideally securing odds between 1.6 and 1.9. But the in-play entry? Oh, that is an advanced edge where sharp bettors really separate from the casuals. Here's how it works. You wait 25 minutes into the match. We all know that universal pain of watching a 0-0 draw unfold when you've confidently bet the over right before tip-off, right? Well, if the score is still 0-0 after 25 minutes, the odds for over 2.5 will drift significantly higher. You then check the live stats. If there are 4 or more goal attempts, 2+ shots on target, and high attacking possession, you jump in and grab those inflated odds, often well above 2.0. You're getting maximum value because the underlying data is screaming that the goals are coming, even if the scoreboard hasn't updated yet. And as a really quick bonus, there's actually a reverse strategy for low-scoring matches using the under 4.5 goals market. The trick here is using the match draw odds as a perfectly calculated statistical anchor. If a top-tier professional match has draw odds of 3.6 or lower, it statistically points to a very low-scoring affair. By piggybacking off this incredibly accurate bookmaker pricing, you can combine these heavily favored under 4.5 outcomes into safe, methodical accumulators with odds of 2.0 or higher. So, the crucial point is you have to consistently take the absolutely best price on the market. That London School of Economics study explicitly stated that their model only made money when using the very best odds available across all bookmakers. If you get lazy and just settle for average odds, the bookies' margins will literally wipe out your mathematical advantage and turn a winning system into a losing one. You absolutely must shop around. And that brings us to the end of our roadmap today. I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. Are you ready to stop betting blindly on vibes and start actually using the data? You now have the mathematical frameworks, the filter systems, and the pricing shortcuts to look right past the scoreboard and see the true mechanics of a football match. Take these tools, apply them strictly, and it'll change the way you view the market forever. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Keep learning, stay disciplined, and I'll catch you next time.